Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to our show. I'm so stoked. We're going to be talking today with Mark Willis. And we're going to be talking about not only his journey in business, but in your bio, I read a little bit about, how, you could turn real estate investing into help paying for college and all the retirement stuff. And I'm curious because I'm in that age, in that stage with my kids, being in college. But before we get into all that, hey guys, remember, in Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, really all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their business. And it's really by providing tools and resources to grow that business and in turn live the life that you wanted to live. So Mark, hey man, welcome to our show.
So glad to be here, John. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to talk about this stuff. We had a nice little chat before I got on, and before we get into the weeds of how can I best use my investments, my money for college, retirement, all those things that I talked about. Tell us about you, right? Tell us about your background in real estate or in business, or how you got to today.
Sure. Yeah, as a certified financial planner, I certainly didn't start that way. I was out of college in 2008, looking for work. Great year to be unemployed.
Yeah, of course.
I got a head start on the rest of the economy that way.
There we go. What did you study in school?
Well, it was a ministry degree, and they held me back for grad school in a seminary. And so, I jokingly say my favorite book of the Bible is the book of Numbers, because I ended up getting into finance. But I was looking for work. I was like working at the restaurants. My first job, though, was a property management company, and I was working as a grunt worker, just paying the bills, because we had, I jokingly say that I married 2 women in college, my beautiful wife, and I married Sally Mae, the student loan provider.
Sally Mae Financial.
Yeah. Yeah. So she wanted money, man. Yeah, she was looking for money every month. My wife and I didn't have marketable degrees. I mean, who's going to hire somebody with our background? And I never really wanted to be like a pastor with a paycheck, and that I always had that entrepreneurial bug, but I left the seminary thinking, all right, I'll just start working at a business, and just took a long time to find out what I was interested in. But it was in 2009 and 10, as we were going through the bowels of the Great Recession, that I found working with a CPA at the time. And interestingly, I was overhearing her phone calls. Now, my job was basically to prep a bunch of tax returns, but I was hearing her make the call. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, Mr. Client. I know you're 63 years old, but the market just took a third of your life savings or half your life savings. Holy crap.
The venture. Yeah.
Yeah. So I never wanted to be a part of that conversation. I almost left the industry, and it was only through some of my own pain and trying to pay off my own student loans that I stuck with this money thing at all. I'd never really even budgeted, was really not aware of finances, but it was through that process I became much more, not just aware of money, but as I found some financial strategies, I actually found it so compelling. I felt like, man, I got to
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Do this professionally and tell the world about what I found. And now I have the great privilege of working with folks all across the country. And I work with business owners, real estate investors who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. They want more certainty, agency, control in their financial life. And they don't want to be just a gutter ball, basically going down the gutter of their own life. They want to be swimming upstream. They want to be moving upstream.
Prospering. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. When you started transitioning to doing this full time, like what type of struggles were you're getting into being an entrepreneur, right? Or starting this business, like what type of things did you struggle with? And maybe what type of mindset tools did you use?
Well, it was that first job working for a property management company where they handed me a wet dry vac and told me to slide my body underneath this busted elevator and get into a flooded, like it was mucky, it was nasty. I don't even want to talk about what I found, but it was a ego buster. Let's just say it that way, going from like, highfalutin graduate degree, whatever, to, with the wet dry vac. I'll just leave it up to your listeners' imaginations. It was, not a good fun day, but it was an important day for me because it reminded me that I'm never above service and never above getting my hands filthy to make the people I'm serving as happy as possible.
As far as it was humbling, that's for sure.
It was. It totally was. I think every young kid, and I still count college graduates as young kids, I think every young kid should have a couple of jobs where they're on the bathroom floor with a toothbrush, if you know what I mean.
Makes you more appreciative of some
sure
things.
Does,
that's for sure.
And then the real estate piece, it really taught me a lot about, and my dad and I had done a bunch of work on our house expansion projects and things like that. Just, a little bit of stick gum and toilet paper rolls and whatever we could to kind of keep the house together. But we did from the foundation, laying the cement up to the roof and chimney work. And it was a lot of fun getting to do that as a teenage kid with my dad. But
that's awesome.
Now working with financial planning and the purposes there, I get to work with a lot of real estate investors who are everything from just fixing up their first fix and flip to one guy's got 200 plus doors in his portfolio. Other people have got a private lending business. Other people are managing syndication funds. And our clients are they span the gamut, like I know your mastermind does as well.
Right. Okay. So, tell me about some of your wealth strategies that you teach. I mean, or actually maybe back up a little bit. What does your actual business look like today? Like, do you have a team? Do you have a course? Do you teach people? What kind of fill us in on all that?
Sure. Yeah. So we do have just under 2,000 clients that are in all 50 states. So wow. I do have, thankfully, a team of people who are associates and colleagues of mine that all get to serve those advisors. We've got a staff of people that help serve as well. And we work with, again, business owners and real estate investors and just any family who wants to have more certainty in their life. So these are people who are building their business or getting their kids ready to go to college or without going broke in the process. Just helped a lady yesterday. She didn't have a lot to her name, financially speaking, but we're helping her 4 kids get through college without her taking out a loan at all. And then she'll actually be her own source of financing, be her own Sally Mae to herself, you might say, to help her get ready for retirement as we go.
How does that work? Is that type of kind of like the infinite funding, infinite banking type of thing?
Sure, yeah. There's a strategy out there that uses a little known variation of dividend paying whole life insurance. So whole life insurance is a little different than, I know you had a recent episode talking about something called indexed universal life. And there's a big difference between these two concepts. For the listening audience, you might be already aware of this, but there's a big categorical difference between the two topics. But whole life insurance, if it's properly structured, can function like a bank
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Be like a bank, and you can borrow against your own, you might say, equity or your own line of credit for yourself. A lot of people have seen their HELOCs go up to 8, 9, 10% plus. And of course, that's, a nightmare because you got to keep kissing the ring of the banker to keep that line of credit open.
Yep.
And they can certainly adjust that or term it out or whatever, and it's not even tax deductible anymore. But you could use your policy, your life insurance policy, like a guaranteed to grow. That's right. It grows on a guaranteed basis every single year, regardless of the market. And you can continually access against that line of credit. So you've got a bigger and larger line of credit that you can borrow from yourself. And last time I checked, I'm not going to repossess my own car. And wouldn't really change the garage even if I tried.
Get yourself.
Yeah, exactly, man. Well, where's Uncle Guido showing up at my door?
Yeah.
So having a guaranteed to increase bucket of money that I'm in control of, that I can liquidate and access anytime I want, or even borrow like it's a line of credit to myself, just provides a certain peace of mind against my financially uncertain future. We all don't know the future. It's what a lot of clients use.
100%. Talk about some other strategies that you teach. I mean, I know some of it said pay for college without going broke. I think you kind of touched on that. And fill us in on some more stuff.
Yeah, I'll give you two more, and then we can just go any direction you want to go.
Yeah, cool.
Let's use let's talk about a guaranteed income that you cannot outlive. What's the best part about rental properties? It's the income that you can count on, right? What's the worst part? It's all the things that have to go into getting that income.
3 T's. It's called the tenants, the toilets, and the termites.
Can I give you 2 more T's?
Sure.
So I know 5 T's. Taxes, and trash, right? So true. Trash, taxes, termites, toilets, and tenants. Yeah. And the big one is tenants, because there's nothing less guaranteed than a tenant,
right?
In my opinion. But what if you could have a guaranteed rental income that you could never outlive, even if you lived to 120 years old? And by the way, I just worked with a guy. He's in the northern suburbs here of Chicago. He had a couple of rental properties, but he's selling them. He's in his late 70s now. And he said to me, Mark, I don't want to be a landlord anymore. I don't want to chase these guys down for rent. And I don't want to pay some property manager to do it for me, cutting into my profits. So what we did, he's doing it systematically, but he's selling his properties one by one, and he's dumping that money into a fixed indexed annuity. And annuities are essentially a 2,300-year-old financial instrument, over 2,300 years old, where you dump money into them. And then if they're designed properly, you still have access to that money. That's a key difference than old-fashioned annuities. But they'll provide for you a lifetime income that you can never outlive. Even if you live to 100 or 120 or whatever, even if you pass away, it could be paid to your spouse until your spouse passes away. So that to me spells financial certainty. You lay that next to a couple of real estate properties and you're starting to really build a nice diversified portfolio.
Is there a limit to the amount you can put into those, or?
No.
That's awesome.
Whatever the insurance company will approve you for. Of course, it is issued by a good, solid annuity or insurance company.
Right.
You don't want to just pick any annuity. And believe me, guys, I mean, there are thousands of annuity products out there. I would not recommend 95% of them. So you want to, it's sort of like buying a car. You want to pick the right one for you. There's not all cars are bad. Some people think, one guy in particular, there's a famous radio and TV personality who I will not name, who hates annuities like with the passion of 1,000 suns.
Yeah.
He says, I'd rather die and go to hell and burn in hell than sell an annuity to somebody. And I thought to myself, well, that's a very severe thing to say. So I started looking at how this guy gets paid. And wouldn't you know, he gets paid as most financial advisors do through what's called assets under management. Now, are you familiar with what that means, John? And I'm sure your listeners, I'll just explain quickly.
Yeah,
basically,
I was going to say, if you explain that type of stuff just for people that don't.
Just so you know, when you have an investment advisor, typical financial, average financial planner they'll charge you a fee for the assets they hold.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Under their management. It's your assets under their management.
Right.
This already doesn't sound too good to me. It doesn't sound like I'm in control. It sounds like the investment advisor's in control.
Right.
Okay, so the basic way this works is you've got a pile of money, and they'll charge you a fee for that annuity. All right, and that, or excuse me, my screen's blocked out there. Okay, so they'll charge you a fee for that pile of money that they've got under their management. Now, that fee is guaranteed to the advisor. Okay, it's guaranteed every year. Now, wait a minute. That sounds a lot like an annuity to me. You know, if I'm paying my investment advisor $10,000 a year or whatever my investment portfolio is worth, he's getting paid a guaranteed lifetime income. $10,000 a year is my fee to him. So I know why some investment advisors hate annuities. It's because you, the client, are their annuity.
That's true. So let's talk about real estate investors, right? How do you help real estate investors? Like, let's say I'm a guy listening to this call or this podcast, and they're like, man, that guy makes a lot of sense, and I need to learn more about that. And I'm going to call you, right? How do you, what kind of like process do you walk them through?
Well, first of all, I don't jump to any conclusions. I've already shared some particular products and tools, but I don't jump to any tool first. I keep the toolbox over here on the side, and I just listen to you about what you're trying to accomplish. Okay. And then we start making a wish list. What do you need your money doing for you? We have a financial analysis meeting where we sit down and review where you're financially at today. What are your goals? What are your concerns? What do you hate about that old Roth IRA you have? What do you love about that rental property or hate about that old, raw land deal you did 6 years ago or whatever? And we just do the whole listening session to get a sense of where you're at. If I cannot help you as a fiduciary, I'm obligated to say so. I have to only work with you if I'm in your best interest, if working with you is in your best interest. So in that sense, that's our first step. We just do a learning and listening session, and that's totally free for folks to have that meeting. And it's a good deep dive. A lot of folks say they go to that meeting even before I set up an accounts or set up a proposals or anything like that for them. They already love it because they're able to see, like we have some software tools that allow them to see their financial map laid out in one place. Right. Spouses that are not as engaged as one spouse, they say, Mark, this is the first time I've seen it all in one spot. And it's so refreshing to know where this is and that is and where we're going. And that sort of thing is huge.
Before we go any further into kind of other stuff that you help, what are some of the mistakes that you're seeing people that when they come to you make, like, and I want one in particular, right? I want a couple, but I want one is like the biggest mistake I've ever heard is this guy is doing this. I can't believe it.
Well, give me a bit more context because I can go almost 100 directions there.
Whatever. Let's say any real estate investment company that you've talked to, no names, right? We're just going to say this guy, someone was doing this, right? Sure. And then other just like kind of normal mistakes people make because we're not educated.
All right. Well, I think the first is just like, I'll just commingle all my personal and business funds. I think that's a big one that is just a no-brainer. We all know it, but then it's so easy to pull out the wrong debit card or credit card at the gas station or whatever.
I'll transfer a little money from here to there real fast.
That's right. Yeah. And I'd say the biggest one, the one that just absolutely destroys people, is the allure of quick leverage cash. Banks are great at lending you money when you don't need it. Right. And they are quick to take it away from you when you desperately need it. Right. Mark Twain says a banker is a fellow who will lend you his umbrella when the sun is shining, but wants it back as soon as it starts raining. Yeah. So, I know so many guys and gals, business owners, real estate investors who dip into the highly leveraged, the bridge loan or the private lending loan or the high business line of credit. Sometimes it's 30, 80, 120% per year. Of course, everyone says, well, I won't have that balance forever, but then they end up having it. They become addicted to it. And that's ultimately what sucks the business dry and puts them out of business.
Got it. Where do you see your growth going with your business? What kind of growth path do you have?
Well, there's been plenty of volatility. We're not through the woods just yet, and I'm not sure when this episode will air, but I'm guessing that we're not going to be done with volatility by the time this airs. Okay.
Yeah,
well, I'm guessing that
earlier.
We're still going to be going through. World is still going to be spinning, so we're always going to have uncertainty in the world, no matter who's sitting in the Oval Office or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Volatility is just part of the deal. Mm-hmm. And so, I honestly have found great comfort in telling people every time I meet with them, because I deal in contractual wealth, I'm not having to worry about what the market did yesterday. I can say with certainty, your accounts with me are going to be worth more today than they were last year.
Got it.
And next year, they'll be worth even more than they are today.
Awesome.
And that's a great feeling of peace after having gone through the Great Recession of 2008, 9, and so on. Mm-hmm. I've never had to give bad news. And that's a great feeling, ultimately and overall.
It is. What would you attribute your keys to success?
Honestly, meeting with great folks like yourself and just continually saying, hey, I don't know who has the right next step for the future. I need to know who the best business partners are. Who am I going to play in the sandbox with next?
Yep.
It's been a great privilege coming on your show, and I treat podcast guesting like this to sort of be like being invited into one's living room.
Yeah.
So I want to keep my shoes clean and not kick up on too much dirt. Exactly, man. So I think that's been a big part of it, is just never walling myself into some corner thinking I got it all figured out and waiting around for people to show up. You got to go to where the people are and continue to share your message.
I call it the power of proximity. When you're around the people, my two favorite sayings, the power of proximity, and we talked about this earlier. I love it. I love what I do so much, you guys. It's like I get paid to eat ice cream.
Right.
Ponder on that one. Ponder on that one a little bit. Mark, if folks want to reach out, they want to talk, they want to do business, how do they connect with you?
If the strategies we've mentioned has piqued your curiosity and you just want to learn a little more about it, I don't bite. I'm happy to speak and just learn and listen with you. So the best way you can connect is to go to our website, which is kickstartwithmark.com. That's kickstartwithmark.com. You'll find my podcast there, which is Not Your Average Financial Podcast. We got 400 plus episodes in the chute. Wow. We are the top, 1.5%, I guess. A lot of our team members have helped make that happen, which is a great privilege.
So do I got a podcast star on my hands here?
Oh, well, I'm just trying to keep up with you, man. So, we're having fun.
I'm a newbie in the game.
You can see our books that we've written and all the other things that we got going on our YouTube channel, but it's all at kickstartwithmark.com. One last thing, there's a little link to our calendar where you can meet with either me or one of my team members for 15, 20 minutes just to get your quick questions answered and see if our working together would be a good fit.
Guys, take advantage of it, man. And Mark, we'll put all that stuff in the show notes. But, really reach out. If it's a free consultation, I tell people all the time, people think, well, it's a free consultation, they're going to try to sell me something. Hey, look, they're trying to help you. If they can help you, is it worth it? Probably.
And we can't sell anything that's not going to put you in a better place from a legal perspective. I don't want to lose my credentials as a CFP. Yeah. So it's on our shoulders to make sure we're only offering things that actually improve your life and not just sell you something. I don't need that.
Yeah. See, it's even better because you're protected. Anyways, Mark, so I'm so grateful you came on, man. Thank you for sharing what you did. I know if none of our audience got good information, man, this is incredible. I got some good notes. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and we will see you guys on the next one. Cheers.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.